Hello, hello, Jamar Shaw coming to you today from Frederick, Maryland. Today I'm with Master Zach Davis. Say hello.
What's going on, guys?
I say Master because he runs the dojo here at Soldier Fit. He's the program director, correct?
Yes, that's it. This the Ford MMA, Soldier Fit Martial Arts, run everything out here. Glad to be with you.
So he runs everything out here. He is the man. So Zach is 33 years old. He has a baby on the way, and he has 3 stepkids. So he has a lot going on. Valor's interview series, episode number 83. Why do I do what I do? Number 1, because there's successful people who deserve to have their stories told. Number 2, there's people who need to hear successful stories so they can be inspired. And number 3, to let you know you can go out there with a camera, phone, and impact the planet. So just like always, no interviews over 10 minutes long, raw, uncut. If we hear loud music, it's because Soldier Fit's a crazy place. So Zach, Master Zach, why do you do what you do?
Well, I mean, I love martial arts. It's always been fun. It's been a passion of mine. But it took me a while to realize why I love it. At first, I just thought it was just awesome stuff. You know, we're just beating each other up. We're having a great time. But what I realized was, you know, as you think back, as I started with wrestling, I was using all my faculties. You got to use your brain, your body, your spirit, and you're always growing. And by doing that, you start to build your personal confidence. You feel good about yourself. Mm-hmm. So every time I hop on the mat with, you know, training martial arts, I just feel better about myself. Mm-hmm. And I just face the world and feel better. And so now I get the chance to kind of spread that. So when I get to teach the kids or teach someone else, you can see people grow every day, and it's a little different each way. So some people might be going through, you know, losing their job or breaking up with their spouse, or a kid's having a rough day or is getting picked on. But you find a different way. In the martial arts, as they start to build that confidence, it's just they become better, happier people, and that's what makes it all worth it for me, day in, day out.
All right. So, just so people, if they see you out in downtown Frederick, so they know how you roll.
Don't come at me like that.
What are you proficient in? What
we do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai. We do our personal defense systems, a lot of self-defense. Our main goal is to make sure people feel confident with self-defense. Mm-hmm. All the competition and stuff like that, that's all icing, that's fun. We want to make sure people are fit and safe. Okay.
So, how long have you been the program director, and the master, Zach Davis? How long have you been doing this?
I think, you know, I stopped counting the months. I think it's 3 to 4 years. I mean, 3.5 years here, but I've been teaching martial arts for over a dozen years.
Okay, so for the last dozen years, if you can remember, what has been the proudest moment in your career thus far?
Oh, geez. I mean, I got to go all the way. Like, a big goal of mine was to compete, just compete. And then I kept doing it, and it was to be professional and then to make it to UFC. So I made it to the Ultimate Fighter. I got to do that. That was probably my proudest moment career-wise. Mm-hmm. I mean, in terms of competing. But being able to start this whole program it took a lot. You know, I mean, that was actually, because if you go out there and you just lose, it's over after 10, 15 minutes, right, and you regroup. But this is a big project, and putting this all together, you know, and making sure it runs and things like that. That was kind of a nerve-wracking experience, you know, and it still continues to grow, but you grow with it as you go.
So what has been the lowest moment in your career thus far?
There were times when I thought I had to quit. I remember getting a real bad injury, and it was multiple times. Mm-hmm. I mean, we were doing mixed martial arts competition, so yeah, I tore my retina 3 times. You know, I've had a lot of injuries, and you know, there was a time when I had to quit competing, mm-hmm, and that was pretty hard because the reason I loved it built my confidence, made me feel better about myself, and now all of a sudden I had lost that. Mm-hmm. And so at that point, I had to transition to coaching and bringing that to other people. And at first it was tough because I hadn't made that transition yet. So I was still looking for what made me feel great and what I loved, and it was gone. And slowly, as I started seeing the enthusiasm of other people and helping them compete and helping, mm-hmm, them get better, that took over and became even stronger. So, but at that moment, you know, a couple months there, I was feeling pretty down on where things were and how this career had left me.
All right. So, yes, we're on question 3. So we're going to need you to keep your answers a little bit short.
Okay,
right?
okay.
All right. So you have about 15 volunteers, you say. So how do you create team culture so everybody's not killing each other?
Well, you got to see why everybody's doing it, what they love about it, and what makes them show up out here every day in and day out, and make sure you take care of them. So if you make sure you know why they're out here, then you can better serve them, make them happier, and then they're happy to spread the love.
Sounds like you've been reading Start With Why.
Oh, okay.
So where do you see yourself a year from now?
Continuing to grow the program.
Okay.
You know, we always want to get stronger and kind of influence more people. So that's really it. Just growing the program, make it so that, you know, it's stronger. There's more training partners, more fun. We're doing more things.
Okay. So do you have a morning routine, something you do every morning to get your morning started, your day started successfully?
You know, I love, I mean, breakfast, coffee, of course, first things first,
Right.
all right? I get the kids out, they all got to get to school, so that kind of wakes me up for me. Chat with the girlfriend for a little bit, see how she's doing, make sure the day's set out right. And then I like podcasts on my drive to work.
Okay.
30 minutes, usually listen to martial arts, mixed martial arts stuff.
Okay.
But that's kind of how I kind of warm up for the day.
All right, perfect. So do you have, what book are you reading? Or what's your favorite podcast that you're listening to?
I just started reading a book, Guns, Germs, and Steel, about how all the different societies ended up in different places through the history of time. So it's pretty awesome.
Okay.
I love it. My girlfriend calls me a huge nerd because I keep trying to explain to her how history has happened.
Okay.
And every time I read a new chapter, I got to wake her up and tell her something else. So
Right.
that's a good one right now.
All right. So do you have anything you do in a daily habit that if you don't do it, your day doesn't feel complete? For some people, it's a smoothie or meditate or yoga or praying, whatever.
For me, I mean, it's martial arts. I mean, we've been talking about it. If I don't do something with it, you know, I always want to be improving a little bit every day. So learning a new technique, working with somebody else and drilling something. And if you're growing a little bit each day, then I can feel good like I've accomplished something that day. So building myself, and usually it's through the martial arts.
Okay, perfect. So what advice would you give to the 25-year-old master, Zach Davis? You go back a couple years.
Just do it. That's it. Yeah, I mean, not to steal Nike's slogan, but yeah, I mean, I was worried about, you know, everything. I mean, you know, everywhere it's natural to kind of second guess yourself, but competing, I wanted to, you know, compete at the highest levels. I was able to, but it took me longer because I wasn't quite sure that was a realistic thing. Mm-hmm. Starting up at school, so many little things that hold you back, but you just figure it out as you go. So I would tell myself, just go, get it done. Yeah.
All right, perfect. I love it. So crazy goals: scuba diving or skydiving or Mount Everest or whatever. What do you want to accomplish?
I'm still nervous to do this one, you know, but I'd love to do a stand-up comedy one time. All right, because that's you can fight people, but as soon as you're on a stage and now you're doing that, I think I have so much respect for stand-up comedians, and I got a couple of friends that do it, and I'm like, man, I can get in a cage and fight, but how you guys do that, that's incredible. So I'd love to challenge myself to do that someday. It won't probably be too funny, but just to know I was able to hop up there one time, that's about as extreme to me as things can get.
Okay, interesting. I like that. So how do you remain humble? Because you got a thriving program, and you're the man, and you're the master. So how do you remain humble? How do you remain humble?
Just try to be a beginner at something relatively often. Right? I tried salsa or tango, and I realized how difficult that was.
Okay.
And when you're a beginner at something, you know, if you're always, you know, master, the black belt, you're like, man, life's easy, everything's easy.
Right.
But you start playing the piano. My girlfriend tried to teach me a little piano. I realized how hard it was.
Right.
That stuff checks your ego pretty quick when you get into somebody else's realm and see it and let yourself be a beginner again.
I like that. So your girlfriend plays the piano?
Very well, very well.
Shout out to you, Courtney. Do you have any pets?
Oh yeah, I got Mickey, a little pit bull, about 2 years.
Okay.
Try to take her with me everywhere. Love
Okay.
her. Just took her out to the river yesterday on the beach, and she was having a blast out there.
All right, perfect. So dream place to visit or to move if you were to, where do you live?
I live in Germantown right now.
I thought he was in Frederick. Okay, so dream place to visit or to move?
Yeah. I'd like to move to Frederick.
There you go.
Looking at Linganore right now.
There you go.
But working that out. But I'd love to go to Africa. I've been to Asia and South America, but never been to Africa. My sister's out in South Africa right now, so maybe I'd like to pay a visit out there.
All right, cool. So Zach, Master Zach Davis, how can the people get a hold of you?
You guys can check us out at soldierfit.com. My email's on there, zdavis@soldierfit.com. We'd love to have you out here. Or you just stop out here. We do a free intro class anytime you want. We do kids, adults, striking, jiu-jitsu, everything, self-defense. We'd love to have you out. Stop by when you can.
All right, and do you have, I know you're on Facebook, but do you have an Instagram and all that, Twitter and all that?
I got Instagram, it's Zach Davis MMA. Facebook, same thing. Twitter, I have one, but I don't really use it so much. So
I got you.
don't check that out just yet.
All right. And I will put all his links in the comment section right below there, so you can click on his links. So ValorLives interview series episode number 83. Go out there, show some valor. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Talk to you next week. Bye.